with that being said, let's hear it, Cass. What was they looking like? I know I ain't do too hot.
I don't think neither of us did. Well, I know I damn sure did.
Nah, y'all both got only 2 correct. Due to Denver's winning, Denver's win, Atlanta's win. Of course, Shy, you picked Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of us picked Houston, but all of us also picked San Francisco. So from that week, I got 4 correct: Denver, Atlanta, San Francisco, Philly. Actually, yeah, and then the 2 you got 2 correct each. So that puts us at, me and Chris are back tied at 36, and Shad, you're at 32 on the season so far.
Okay. We got a couple weeks left. I'm slowly inching back.
Because I'm selling, bro. Doing kicking field goals. That's that red zone.
Derek Carr's
tried
not
to throw like 3 picks. I just rewatched the game. That's why I got this Falcons jacket on. I just rewatched the game like 2 hours ago, and I was
it's
just
so
like, bro,
bad,
what you got
man.
going on?
They say his stats: 22 for 49 in the red zone. That is below 45%. Averaging 3 yards a pass. That is nasty work.
And they could have had multiple picks in the red zone. They ended up getting a pick 6, and it's ugly. But
it's ugly over there in New Orleans.
It's ugly over there because it's like this is a kind of to go back to the conversation.
Olave back together.
Maybe, but I mean, really, truly,
they gotta do something.
And that's what I was just about to say. This is to go back to the conversation we just had. At what point do you decide, hey, Derek Carr, we did just sign him to a contract, but we've got Jameis, who's a somewhat capable starter. Do we need to see what he's about? Because coming in and you were supposed to be the dominant team in your division, and now you're tied for first at 5-6 is kind of ugly. So, but with that being said, starting with the first game of the week, as we always do, Thursday Night Football. We got the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, back-to-back weeks going against the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. Geno Smith coming off that elbow, it's still been bothering, but they say it's a night and day difference now compared to a couple weeks ago when he got initially hurt. Who you guys got coming out this week? Cowboys need a big win against a team that's winning.
It's a tough game to pick for me, but I'm gonna go with Dallas as much as I don't want to, but I think Dallas. I think honestly they're just a better team right now. I think Seattle has a lot to figure out. They're in the midst of really spiraling, no matter what Geno's status is, and I think Dallas takes advantage of that. I think they're on a little bit of a roll, and they know they need this win just in case. Depending on how they need this win going into the stretch that they're about to go into. So I think they realize that.
About you, Chris?
I mean, I'm same way. I don't want to pick them, but Dallas. I don't know. It's something about the Seahawks. It's just I don't know. It's just something about them that's just like, they should be better than what they are. I know Geno Smith who he is, but it's just they do have a talented roster. They have talent around offensively and defensively, but for whatever reason, week in and week out, they don't look that impressive. They don't look good at all. Even in the wins that they have, it just don't look that good. So I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that game last week. I know, and that's a division opponent.
Was very ugly.
Yeah.
Usually, even with a division opponent, you playing them tough regardless. But it was bad. I mean, outside of the pick 6 that they got, they was getting dog walked. So I'm gonna just go with Dallas.
And like you said, Seattle has had a lot of tough losses. They've lost twice to the Rams. They lost to the Bengals in a tough game. Got smacked by the Ravens, and they obviously got smacked by the 49ers. So it's looking, and they've got a tough stretch. They got the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Eagles back to back to back, and then Pittsburgh after a game against Tennessee. So they've got a tough stretch coming up. And this might be the only game that they can get out of that stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle as the desperate team. I'm not very confident in it because, once again, that Michael Parsons might feast. But they're a desperate team. They can't lose 3 straight. And ultimately, I do think this is one of the few weeks that Dallas is playing a team that, you know, they're a better team. They're obviously a better team than them, but they
Yeah.
can match them with athletes. You know,
That's fair.
they're not they're not lacking in the talent portion. They're lacking more in consistency. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Seattle Seahawks. I'm biting the bullet on it, but I'm a little nervous. But I'm excited for the game, though. It's gonna be, hopefully, should be a good game. Hopefully, it don't end up
I think
turning
it's gonna
into
be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be like no blowout, typical. Well, how Dallas has
I
been
hope
doing.
not.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a good game. I just
And
think
I was gonna also say I do you know think there might be a little bit of like, hey, look ahead to the Eagles, especially with the Eagles coming up on a big game this week. They're probably, oh, that's making me want to talk myself out of it. But you know, I'm stick with Seattle. I'm gonna stick with Seattle. But going back to the next game and going back to Derek Carr and his red zone woes, we've got the Detroit Lions, who have kind of been on a little bit of a spiral. They ended up got a big comeback win against the Chicago Bears. But we spoke about in the beginning of the episode, they did get smacked by the Packers this week.
Bad Thanksgiving Day loss.
Bad Thanksgiving Day loss. Bad loss on Sunday for the Saints, really. What do you guys think? You know, are you guys thinking that the Lions will bounce back, or will Saints bounce back? They got a lot of injuries. Olave, Michael Thomas is out. It's basically just gonna be Shaheed. It's basically just gonna be Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill out there. So who you guys got this week?
I got Detroit. I can't pick New Orleans, man.
I can't. I was just about to say after last week, and we talked about it right before we picked them. I said in the red zone woes, and it just showed up multiple times. It's just like,
hey, Jesse Bates, man. We didn't talk about
Jesse Bates, all pro.
What a free agent signing. Goodness gracious.
Jesse Bates might be an all pro. The team that we just talked about with Dallas might have an all pro in Deron Bland. Shout out to him. We didn't mention that, but shout out to him for breaking the record for most pick sixes in a season.
Cheeks.
He was the player of the year? I don't know.
See, this goes back to impact. You know, obviously they were pick sixes, so they do have impact.
Definitely impact.
But you know, it's also like when it's moments. It's not coming in games against the 49ers where it's a tough game. It's coming in when you're up 20-0.
That's fair.
And it's, you know,
they didn't even need that score. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I get that.
No disrespect to him. That is something that is crazy. He definitely should be in the running. I would have Myles Garrett probably at this point. Or TJ Watt, just because they're contributing more to actual winning and getting their team in the playoffs. But
that's a conversation.
That's something that I don't even know how you can fix that, but that is something that needs to be fixed in the league, where it's like typically like how we say MVP is always a quarterback. Is like y'all got to start looking outside of what's going on. Like you say, even I be talking shit about Deron Bland, I can't even deny six pick sixes is nuts.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
People don't do that in their whole career, and he's done it in one season.
They said that they already tied like Champ Bailey, or has more than Champ Bailey. And I mean, Champ Bailey for me is a probably top 2-3 corner.
Same
in my opinion ever. So like you know when you say stuff like that, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so but we all rolling with the Lions. You know, no confidence in Derek Carr at all.
Absolutely not.
And the Saints, kind of like the Chargers, are going to have a lot of questions. They will have we didn't talk about it. They will definitely have a coach's opening. I don't know how attractive that job will be, because somebody's going to get hit with that bill and having to refix the books there. But they're going to continue their
it'll take a couple years to get out of this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because I picked them to win the division.
Which could still happen. I mean, it could.
Yeah, it could. You know, the NFC South is ugly, but
it's so bad.
Going back to the person that I said might be the defensive player of the year thus far, Myles Garrett. We talked a little bit about him. We talked a little bit about Joe Flacco coming in, and he's probably going to get the start this week against the LA Rams. The Rams are trying to make a push for the playoffs, maybe sneak into the wild card. Who you guys got this week?
Sneaky good game right here. Sneaky good game. I think I'm gonna go Cleveland in this one. I'm gonna go Cleveland in that defense. I think they rattle Matt Stafford a little bit, and you know he did have they've been playing well. You can tell they are. They got the vision that they can make a push. Towards the end, especially with how you win 9 games, you might make the playoffs. So I mean, it's like they have a chance. But I'm gonna go Cleveland in this one. I think the defense kind of overcomes the offense, and if it is Joe Flacco starting this week, I don't know if that's happening or not, but if it is him starting, I think he's a good game manager to where you don't have kind of the same worries that you had with Washington and DTR. So kind of puts them at ease a little bit.
What say you, Chris?
I'm gonna go Cleveland also. I don't think the Rams defense is gonna, even though whether Flacco or DTR play, Rams don't really have that good of a defense. I think they could be able to lean on the run a little bit. Getting them in a rhythm as far as quarterback play, and that defense is gonna show up. Although Myles Garrett is hurt, I think their defense, they have enough players around them to make the plays that need to be made, and they're gonna end up winning.
That run game was crazy last game for the Rams, though. Like, Kyron Williams went off.
And
That's
every
true.
time he
That's
plays, he typically plays pretty well, and they play well as a team. So that's why I'm rocking with the Rams, and I'm lone wolfing again.
Okay.
I'm rocking with the Rams this week. I think that they will be a little rusty with DTR either coming back, later in the week with no practice, or Joe Flacco starting with being out for long time. I'm the Rams are on a 2-game winning streak coming off the bye week. They're playing really well. They just smacked the Cardinals, did whatever they wanted with them. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think they continue their streak, and then I think the Browns look to get right next week.
That's fair.
Next week, but you guys got me lone wolfing on 2. This is how I'm about to come back.
We'll see, or get further behind.
The game we talked about earlier, a little bit earlier, the Houston Texans. It's going to be a big game versus Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos defense has been probably top 5 defense over the past few weeks. They're on a 5-game win streak. Obviously, Houston's coming off of a tough loss to Jacksonville, and they need this game to kind of keep pace both teams need to keep pace in the playoff race, and for Houston's purposes, they can try to keep pace in the division, get that. Hopefully, maybe if Jacksonville stumbles. Who you guys got? You guys riding with Russ? Do you guys think they get the number 6 straight, or are you going with Houston and CJ Stroud?
We got.
By the way, we didn't even speak about it, but that CJ Stroud MVP conversation, I guess, stopped, ain't it?
Yeah,
it's just took one game. It seems like every time we have a MVP and we're hyping them, the next game they lose, and it's just all quiet again.
That's just the crazy thing about this year in the MVP race, though. But you've fallen too far behind in the standings to make to really have your name up there like that. But I hinted earlier. I hinted earlier that I expect Houston to go out and win this one. So picking Houston, I think they kind of bounce back here. I think this will be I don't think it's gonna be that close of a game, though. I know Denver's defense has been playing well, but I think Houston kind of gets to them. Houston's at home, which helps too. I got Houston in this one. I don't think it'll be that close. I think they win by a couple touchdowns, at least 10 points.
Bullshit.
I got the Broncos, bro. Let's ride, man.
Okay.
Hey, that defense is showing up, and that's what I've been looking for. Like, their defense was one of the spots where I thought they were going to be, helping this team out. And then at the beginning of the season, their defense looked like straight up shit. It was bad, and that was one of the reasons I felt like their team wasn't doing as good. But I expect their defense to show up this weekend. I don't think Russ is going to have a spectacular game. He's going to do enough to make some plays and win the game for him. So I got Denver.
And I'm rocking with Houston. There's no chance. I said last week, they shouldn't have won that game because they can't score on offense.
Yeah, you're gonna have to score points to beat Houston.
They can't. They cannot. They struggle so much on offense. It's just the defense is playing well, playing really well. For that matter. But no, I'm rocking with Houston. I think CJ Stroud and the gang get back on track, and they pull this one out. But moving along, I can't believe you picked Russ. What?
I'm telling you, hey, let
Let it
ride. I'm
ride.
telling you.
Yeah, they're gonna have to score some points, and I don't think they can this week. They gonna. We'll
But
see.
Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs, they got back on track this week against the Raiders after going down in a 14-0 hole versus the Packers coming off a big win. And we talked a little bit about the Rams shortly ago where we were saying that they're trying to sneak in, but the Packers, they got an opportunity, after how great things started and then how bad things went, and now they're back and they kind of stabilized with their big win on Thanksgiving. You guys think they're pulling off the upset against Kansas City?
Nah, I don't
No
think
chance.
I mean,
chance.
they are home.
Mm.
Kansas City doesn't look, super dominant. It's a possibility, but I think there is a chance, but I don't think they end up doing it. So I'm gonna go Kansas City.
I'm going Kansas City.
I'm rocking with Kansas City too, but
I thought you about to pick Green Bay.
I do think that Green Bay will be leading the entire game, and I think that we get to a point where Kansas City ends up scoring in the end to steal the game away. But I do think that they're going to give. They've got the athletes to Quay Walker can guard Travis Kelce. They've got the athletes on the defensive end to keep up with Kansas City's offense. They've been playing well defensively recently.
Pick Green
Offense
Bay.
is offense looked like it
It
got
sound
right.
like, don't it, Kev?
No. I'm not, I don't know. The reason that I don't want to pick Green Bay is because I think that Spagnuolo and that defense at some point he's gonna confuse Jordan Love, and there's gonna be a big crucial turnover, or they're gonna get him on a big sack in a crucial time, and that's ultimately why I'm not going with Green Bay. But I do think that they will have a good game and put up a fight. And we see a little bit more improvement from Jordan Love. And honestly, his first start came against Kansas City in a Sunday night game, and it was a close game. I think it ended up like 17-10 or something like that when Jordan Love had a opportunity to score in the end and just didn't get it. But it'll be interesting to watch. So with that being said, you already know where we going. Biggest game of the week, boy.
Ooh.
Biggest game of the week. Biggest game of the year. Biggest rematch of the year. It's been look forward to than Kansas City versus the Eagles. We got the Eagles in San Fran. They've been talking that shit. They've been talking that shit. Shady said Uzi gonna be there. Will Smith gonna be there.
Benny Siegel gonna be there.
Siegel gonna be there.
Meek
Shady
Mills
gonna be there. Meek Mills gonna be there. They said Deshaun Jackson retiring gonna be there. It's what's up? Who gonna get this dub?
Ooh, Chris, what's up? What's up?
Man, it's a big ass game, like for real, Like I'm talking about circle. Fuck all the other games, circle, bro. They talking too much shit, but you already know I'm rolling with the Eagles on this one, man. I think we're gonna start off good this time. Although again, I like to point out this will be possibly the third game in a row we're playing in the rain.
Brother.
We're playing in the rain, third game in a row. But I mean, we played the last two games, so I think we're kind of getting used to that. But we just had to start off fast. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to start off fast. We expect to have Lane Johnson back. We did not have him. Didn't find out till 3 hours before the game. We didn't have him last week. There's a possibility Dallas Goedert might play. He probably won't play till next week, but still though, I'm looking for us to come out and punch him in the mouth. I mean, this is a big game. I mean, they talking that shit, boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Eagles though.
Debo, what Debo called Bradbury? Trash. I'm gonna go San Francisco on this one.
Okay.
He is standing on it. I'm gonna go San Francisco on this one. I think they end up making some big plays down the stretch, particularly just the second half overall, to kind of put it away, put it out of hand a little bit. I think the weather will affect them a little bit, but I believe in their skill players. I think they step up in this one. I think that defense steps up huge in this one and kind of gets to Jalen a little bit. I'm going San Francisco.
And I'm going with San Francisco as well. Similar to part of it is due to the same sentiment that I had with Buffalo last week. Is just that the Eagles are, is their due eventually. and I don't think that I'll get into that in just a second. But I also think that the 49ers, top to bottom, right now they're probably playing a little bit better, especially defensively, than the Eagles are. And obviously they've been a little bit more consistent offensively. And this is just a game that they got to show up on. They've been talking too much, and this is just not a game they can lose. So once again, similar to the first game that I picked, I just think they have to be the more desperate team.
Yeah.
And I think it sets up the big narrative going into next week, where we're going to be hyping another Eagles game, Eagles versus the Cowboys, and that's going to be a big one where it's going to kind of decide ultimately who might be the division winner. Before we know what team's going to get shut down, but the accident waiting to happen. But I'm rocking with the 49ers for my final pick of the week. And I can't wait, boy.
Yeah, I can't wait for this one, man.
Wait.
This is a big game, man. Chris.
I cannot wait, man. Ooh. But with that being said, man, what a great week we had last week, and another big week we got coming up. Big games.